we are just like a box or just this cup like this ice cream, right? So how can we actually grow out of this little box, right? So in a way, we can try to, expand a little bit, have more ice cream on it and let it overflow, right? And it's perfectly fine to overflow, right? So that's where, we are not being fixated to just something like that.
Welcome to the Great School,
where great speak.
Made Sweet. Hi, I'm Felicia.
And I am Aaron, and we are your hosts to this podcast. Join us as we explore inspiring stories, expert insight, and practical tips to help you unleash your potential and achieve success.
Today, we have a very interesting guest with us. He is a student advisor who started in this business since 2009, and that is like 15 years. My God. Okay, and without further ado, I'd like to introduce this agency leader who is Derrick Tan.
Woo!
Hi, everybody.
Hello,
Hi, Felicia.
Derrick.
Hi, Aaron.
Hello.
Hi,
Yes,
Derrick.
so-
Can you introduce yourself to the listeners right now?
Yes. So wow, you calculated for me 15 years. Yes. So since I joined this company, Great Eastern, for 15 years since 2009, and I started off as a student advisor. Right. So back then, year one, right, I was more like a full-time advisor and a part-time student.
Okay.
Yes, and
Okay.
of course, aside from studies, what do I actually do? I do have my CCAs as well, and my CCA revolves around cheerleading.
Nice.
Yes, so practically my entire day, everybody says 24 hours, right?
Mm.
So 6 hours of studies, 6 hours of training, and then 6 hours of work, which is in financial advisory, and 6 hours of rest. So that's my life for the past 3 years when I was a uni student. And thereafter, I graduated and I look back and I was thinking that, hey, actually, in this business is actually not too bad, right? And I'm actually, in fact, ahead of my colleagues or my peers, right? So back then, when I was in the final year, everyone was actually busy sending out CVs, resumes for work. Yeah, but as of me, in a way, I look back, my business was a little bit established already. And I was looking at, hey, actually, this is actually not a bad career that I can actually explore after I graduate. And hence, once I graduated, I started my career full-time as a financial consultant. And 6-7 years down the road, I started my agency. Yeah, so till now.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah, and then 15 years, finally, I get to have my first long service award.
Yay! Okay, Derrick, before we dive further into today's topic,
Sure.
which is also very interesting, can I just check, do you like ice cream?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, nice. So we especially prepared an ice cream for you. Just enjoy while
Okay.
we dive deep into this discussion.
Sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, Derrick, you mentioned that your mother is actually in the business as well.
Yep.
Is it because of her that makes you want to try to come into this business initially?
There's always this thing that, when I introduce this, as in I'll just explain to my friends that, yes, my parents have been in this business as well, right? Then people always have a preconceived notion that, you have someone there in the business that can support you and everything, right? How I feel is actually it takes two hands to clap, right? It could
Exactly,
be,
yeah,
it's like your parents want you to be a doctor, right? But you yourself as an individual, if you don't envision yourself to be a doctor, right? No matter how well your parents give you for an education or anything, you just want to go to another route for, say, music and drama, right?
Couldn't agree more.
To pursue your passion. So for me, it actually takes two hands to clap. And me joining this business is really an open book. I came in with no agenda, just trying to understand what financial planning is all about. Yes. So definitely, in a way, along the way, there'll be ups and downs, right? As this role is actually frontline, where we actually meet customers, and on and off, we would actually encounter setbacks,
Yes.
right? So it's part and parcel, right? So along the way, I get to know about myself, and then slowly get to enjoy this entire experience along the way.
Yeah. So Derrick, since you're talking about, when you came in, it's an open book. You get to, I think this business, everybody knows that it's all about talking to new people, right?
Yes.
Do you have a fear when you first started, or were you like brave and courageous? I have no fear to talk to all the people around me.
Definitely, there will be instances in the beginning, during the beginning period, where you're not really sure of how do you actually strike a conversation with a client. Especially someone
Right,
that is very cold, like during roadshow,
Yes.
right? So it's like, okay, what am I supposed to say during this period? What am I going to do? So it comes with practice. So there's a saying that not everyone is born to be a salesperson.
Yes.
Right.
Truly
So it could be somebody who has no experience and it's perfectly fine. So long as you yourself, you are actually willing to be able to step out of your little comfort zone, right? To be a little bit adventurous and try it out. And then of course through the proper training methodologies that we all have in the agency, that is where we can actually build up the confidence of an individual. Yes. And then through practice. So if you're not confident, okay, repeat again.
All right.
Just repeat through, and then once you are confident, and then the best experience to have is actually when you get your hands dirty, right? So that's the extent where you really go down to the roadshow or even to a client, right? Your friends to actually do the pitch or presentation. Yeah, and it's perfectly fine that if you stumble upon anything, right? Everyone is here to learn and to grow, and then that's from there you'll be able to make it better.
Yeah,
following from that experience. Yeah,
that's a good sharing. So you were saying a lot of things about getting into a new place where you need to face your fear. All right. So how do you actually, what's the biggest fear to you when you first step into this?
Nobody want to talk to me.
Aww.
Typically it's like every time it's like, oh great, this one, okay, sorry, not free and everything. That's very typical. It's like every time you see a insurer logo down there, oh my god, they'll just run away like nobody's business, or they'll just give you, oh sorry, I'm not free and everything.
Yeah.
So we need to understand that usually based on experience, usually when the first response from anybody, right, it is actually like a little defense from them. Right, because subconsciously they will know that, oh, insurance again, and okay, I'm not interested. They're trying to push you away, right? So being in sales in a way, we need to be a little bit persistent, right? 3 tries, right? So the first time they say no, we just need to take it that it is like a self-defense mechanism, right? And then we dive in a little bit deeper. We attempt to chit-chat with them, get to know them a little, and then diving into a conversation, and we try it again. Yes. So it could be the first context when you meet them, they may not be comfortable. That is perfectly fine, right? But us as a salesperson, frontline, we need to be able to be persistent and go for the third strike. Yes.
Persistency.
Persistency
I
is
agree.
important.
So like what fear stands for is either you face everything
you fight
and
or you fight.
Yeah. Or you
fight and flight lah.
Forget everything and run.
In a way, yes. So
Yep.
it's more of the mental, I believe. So sometimes it's like and what I realize is it's more of a mental block.
I agree, because everyone, for our audience, knows that actually Felicia and myself started our career with insurance sales as well. And mental is the most important thing that I think one person
guidance
will need to have.
and training and mentorship.
Exactly.
Yes. So that's in the context. And aside from mentoring, it's really the mind. So usually, us as Asian, right, we tend to think a lot, and based on the culture that we are in, being very conservative, we always think of the not so positive kind of thing. Right? So even before I go and ask the person, I'm already imagining or to visualize that, very likely the client will just say no, right? So it's in the mental that you feel that, even before I ask, they will say no. And then I wouldn't even want to actually take the first move, right? But then the reality is...
assume.
Yeah, you assume. But the reality is, if you never try, right? And then there's only 2 probability, either yes or no, right? Binary, 1 or 2, 1 or 0.
Correct. But
right?
if you never try,
then it will be 0-0.
100%.
Yes. So just give it a shot and just ask, and you never know what will be the outcome, right? It could be something that you perceive as it is, okay, the person will say no, but when you ask and the actual fact is, hey, why not? Just nice that, that individual is actually looking for something on wealth planning or anything about insurance, right? So, so just ask, and the most is a no, then okay. Next. Right?
Yeah.
Next one.
I think there's also this saying that I always share with my peers last time, and even to the people whom I train right now, which is the first step is don't be a fortune teller.
Yes.
So don't have any assumption, or don't have any assumption on this person whether what would they reply? So just ask first and you'll never know, right?
Yes,
Like you say.
and the possibility is tremendous,
Yeah.
right? That no is just one probability,
Yes.
and you never know that 99% what is it going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even if the client or prospect actually say no the first time, it's perfectly fine, because in a way you have really bring across a message to the
Yes.
individual that, hey, I'm in this business, right? It's perfectly fine that if you don't want it now, sure. It could be, by circumstances, they are not ready now, financial may not be as strong and stable, sure, right? But when you are ready, right, you just need to remember that I am around and you can just look for me.
Okay, so Derrick, can I just check, right? I think I believe that in this business, throughout your 15 years, I believe everybody would know that it's not an easy journey, right? There's a lot of ups and downs, when it's the super peak period, we are like, oh, yay, good numbers today, a lot of people that I talk to.
Yep.
But there's definitely certain times where, it's just not that month, right? Or not that day, or maybe not that week. So it just go down and down like a downward spiral. So how do you make sure that, right, you quickly like bounce back rather than letting it go further and further down that route?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how, so I just reflect back when I was like, in the first 3 years of the business, right? So what we do is typically to prospect for clients. And naturally, I think rejection, people saying, no, I will think about it. This is not for me. All kinds of rejections will actually start pouring in.
Yeah.
And the back then me, right, that I will kind of like get emo momo for the entire day. It's like, wow, why this friend of mine is rejecting me, right? So yes, I will kind of like have some sweet things to treat myself.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, ice cream.
Yes, and yes, vanilla is something that I love.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I treat myself a little bit, and then I try to cut short that whole day of thunderstorm, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so treat myself, and I need to be aware, to know that this rejection is not something that is personal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not personal. That is in the context where you trying to know a girl and then trying to ask a girl for a date, and then the girl just say no. Yeah, it could be personal. But in this context of like a financial advisory, it is more towards the rejection is not me that they don't like. It's more of it could be the context that they might not be ready at that moment, and then the stars are not aligned. Yes. So how I'll do it is I get to know, so I catch myself.
Okay.
Right, whenever there is this experience or emotions that I'm experiencing, yes, it's perfectly fine that I just chill for an hour.
Okay.
Like the bus back home, I'll just like emo momo a little bit. But the moment that I step out of the bus, right, I go back to the normal me.
Okay.
Yes. So it's to, in a way, try to compartmentalize your emotions a little bit, right, and not to make it have a spillover effect.
I see. So to dive a little bit deeper, so in terms of, I believe when we first, for me at least, last time it was really like what you say, one day sometimes.
And I do know the entire week,
Yeah,
like,
wow. And then
they'll
for
sleep
me,
in the whole day. Okay.
Yeah, so we will be just lying on the bed watching Netflix maybe for like one whole day, and then realize that I think something is wrong. So that's where the moment snap, right? And then like, okay, this is too much. I think watching 12 to 18 hours is a bit too long. I need to slowly cut short, like you say, maybe just chill for 1 hour. So that was like the turning point for me. Was there anything or any tip that you can share with the listeners, right? Like exactly how do we master this self-awareness to make sure that maybe external factors, like example, people telling you, hey, you shouldn't, do that anymore. Come on, get out of your bed. Or is there anything that made you?
Well, I do know of some people. It's like even the mother say get out of the bed, and then they are still in the room and everything.
Okay.
So it's really, based on how I see, it's really you need to know yourself very well, right? You need to know yourself very well, and yes, we can be emotional at times, right? But there needs to be a stop.
Okay.
Yeah, so that stop, it could be other motivating factors. So you need to know for yourself what actually excites you, right? So if in that moment that you are down, sure, okay, yeah, go and have an ice cream, do something that you like.
Okay.
Yes, do something you like, or for me, it's I would just exercise, go for training, and then expand all the energy.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so do something that you like, and then the moment that you're done with the exercise or the ice cream experience, and then you need to move on. And for you to move on, of course, the next thing to do is to say, okay, what is next? So if the client says no, okay, review. It could be a context where you review, what actually went right or went wrong
Nice.
in that
Right.
conversation with the client. Is it because you're not prepared, or the way you question the clients, chit-chat the client?
That's very true.
Yeah, and what can
Yes.
you do better in the
Yeah,
next
so
one,
it's like a
right?
little self-reflection that you need to have, right? And then, okay, these are the areas I actually need to look out for, right? And then if you want to practice more, yes, look out for your mentor, your colleagues, and everyone to just do a little dry run. Like, NDP, we have the full dress rehearsal,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Do a full dress rehearsal the same way.
Yeah.
Then you go for the next one to the next client.
Okay, that's
Right.
a lot of tips. So eating something sweet, do something
Yes.
that you like, and also self-review, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
To know, what are the areas that you can better improve, and then from there you can grow. Yeah. And having a good mentor is also important. Right. So sometimes
Right.
because in work context, where you couldn't possibly be, asking your mom, your mom may not have the experience.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right. So someone who is in this field, right, who is more senior and has much more experience, maybe a good mentor to actually seek guidance and advice too. Yeah. So it's a self-discovery journey, and the awareness is very important.
Mm.
So
And
you practice detachment. You do something that makes you happy.
Yes, to
after-
forget the experience of, wow, it was a very bad day, and
Correct,
so on and
correct.
so forth. Then, okay, next, move on. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So you mentioned you need a mentor in life, and your mother obviously is one of your mentors, I assume.
Yes, in terms of life and work, yes, definitely a mentor, right? But
Mhm.
of course, in this journey as well, I do have my own train of thoughts and way of work as well. So sometimes, yes, we will actually challenge each other, but they need a different thinking and the way of working style.
Yes, yes.
So of course, definitely, a mentor, be it your parents or be it your leader, right? Does give you a good compass and direction of the right things to do, the correct way, and then how can you actually grow from there, because they have the experience. Yeah, of course, with the new generation, we do have our different set of thinking.
Okay.
So we will have a discussion in a very nice way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Derrick, I think just now, I just want to bring back a little bit to something that you have touched on,
Yes.
which is persistent. Being persistent. Just now you talk about this thing called 3 times. So I think 3 is a very interesting number, because I think psychologically people always say, the top to-do list, these are top 3 things,
Mhm.
something like that. So is there any reason why, when we are handling rejections, all these things, you actually set a number
3
to it
times.
3 times?
Yeah. So why 3? Well, that is what I was told to. I was told.
Okay.
Yeah. So
By your
3.
mentors lah.
Yeah, but it actually worked.
Mm.
It actually worked. So back then, where we actually back then, those were the days where we can prospect clients, door knocking and everything.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So typically when we go there, so hi auntie and everything. Oh, insurance? No. Then they'll slam the
Yes.
door and they say not interested. Right. So
Yes.
then we will try the second time, and then we will just ask like, oh, we are here to actually have the pitch over, and then the client will be like, what is it all about? Right. So the first one is just an absolute no.
No, yeah.
Right, to just try to the self-defense mechanism.
Yes.
Then the second one, right, we reiterate why we are here, right? It brings the little antenna up a little bit, right? And then we will actually see, of course, like based on their response, how is it going to be like. Then when we feel that they are actually engaged already, right? Or the third no, where they still say no, they are not interested, then we'll try the third attempt where we try to have a chat with them to, try to break the ice a little bit. Yeah. So that's the 3 no's in a way. And by then we will be able to have a very good sensing whether, the first one is the absolute no is really no.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So-
totally agree as well, because when I was told, to also handle objection 3 times,
Yes.
I also just follow.
Yes,
but
3
like
times.
what you say, right? Sometimes following just works. Right? We
Yes.
don't really have to reinvent the wheel or
Yes.
do something new. You just have to follow those people who are successful like yourself, and just continue doing it. Right?
Yes.
You never know what kind of outcomes it will give you.
So Derrick, just now you mentioned also that you face a lot of rejection throughout your career, and you need to have resilience, of course.
Mhm.
So, what is emotional intelligence important for a rep to have to be successful in this
Emotional
career? Yeah.
intelligence important.
What do you think?
Definitely it is important. In fact, everyone, as in emotional intelligence by itself, I think it's something that is important in every aspect of our life.
I couldn't agree more.
Right.
Yes,
So it's
yes,
like
yes.
when the example where I share is like if you want to actually have a courtship with this girlfriend or boyfriend, right? Yeah, it's not just a okay, shall we go steady together, the kind of thing. You need to actually maybe have some effort to make the ambience, the environment much more lovable, to be in the mood, right? So these are some of the things. It's not only just being a financial advisor that we need to have the EI. Yeah, so EI in a way is I feel it's like a soft skill, right? A soft skill that is intangible that we can be able to communicate better with people, knowing the situational awareness. That's also very important, right? So these are some of the things that emotional intelligence it plays an integral part in not only just as a financial advisor, being a person as well,
able to read the room.
To know, so just be more aware a little bit, bring up your antenna a little bit to just have a sensing of like how's the environment like. Yeah, so EI is pretty important.
So you say EI is a soft skill. Do you get to practice and
EI is a soft skill. Awareness, I think it's awareness. Practice, yes, you can practice to communication skills. Yes, we can learn and practice, right? In terms of situation awareness, that will be by experience. That will be our experience, right? So with the experience that you have already, that's actually, when I have this objection already, I catch myself. I know that it's just not personal. It's not being personal. Then it's okay. Move on. Go to the next one. Yeah. So it's managing the situation and knowing how to grow from there. So in a way, EI, and there's this thing that I learned as well as the growth mindset.
Okay.
Yeah, the growth mindset is where we are just like a box or just this cup like this ice cream, right? So how can we actually grow out of this little box, right? So in a way, we can try to expand a little bit, have more ice cream on it, and let it overflow, right? And it's perfectly fine to overflow, right? So that's where we are not being fixated to just something like that. Yeah. So yeah, growth mindset to keep exploring. Yeah, and then in a way, objection is just something that is just normal. It's just like a hi and a bye.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Derrick, I think that is all the time that we have for today. And usually, what we do at the end of the
we're going to have the ice cream. We're going to finish the ice cream.
Of course, you have to finish the ice cream.
Okay.
So, other than that, we'll also like you to actually give one tip or one quote that you actually like to our listeners on, just handling their emotions, during this journey, or maybe whatever they are experiencing right now. Yeah.
Yes.
What would you like to say to them?
So with my little experience and what I've actually learned in a way, there's this phrase that I actually learned now. It is where it's 5 words. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Nice.
Right? It is what it is. It is what it is. So whatever happens it happens for a reason. It is what it is already. If the client say no, okay, it is what it is right now. Right. And you don't just say, okay, wow, this client hates me and everything. Okay, sure, it is what it is. Just same thing, reflect back, understand the situation and move on. And move on. And then
agree.
And then whatever thing. So if the girlfriend says no, okay, I take it with pride. Right? And then I go back and self-reflect. What went wrong? Okay, maybe the stars are not aligned. Then okay,
you'll find another one.
No, I'll 3 strikes.
3 strikes.
3 strikes. I'll just try it again, and then okay, no. Then the third one, no. Then thank you so much. Next one, ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Then it is what it is.
Wow, that's very true, Derrick. I think like we are all humans. Humans are emotional creatures that we need to acknowledge our emotion, not let it drive us, but learn how to control it also.
Yes.
Right.
To catch yourself and then move on from there. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for the sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And that's the end of our podcast today. So sad. Okay. So we had a very great conversation. Thank you, Derrick.
Thank you.
And once again, my name is Felicia.
And I'm Aaron. Thank you for tuning into
The Great School. See you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.